Washington, on a day meant for unity and celebration, President Donald Trump vowed to safeguard our values from enemies within, leftists, looters, agitators, he said, in a 4th of July speech packed with all the grievances and combativeness of his political rallies. Trump watched paratroopers float to the ground in a tribute to America, greeted his audience of frontline medical workers and others central in responding to the coronavirus pandemic, and opened up on those who slander him and disrespect the country's past. We are now in the process of defeating the radical left, the anarchists, the agitators, the looters, and the people who, in many instances, have absolutely no clue what they are doing, he said. We never allow an angry mob to tear down our statues, erase our history, indoctrinate our children. Get the Times of Israel's daily edition by email and never miss our top stories. Free sign up and we will protect and preserve American way of life, which began in 1492 when Columbus discovered America, he added, name-checking the Italian explorer whose legacy has been questioned of late, along with other historical figures involved in perpetuating colonialism, slavery, genocide and other crimes. Anti-racism protesters who have marched in cities across America are not interested in justice or healing. Their goal is demolition, he said. U.S. President Donald Trump speaks as First Lady Melania Trump listens during the 2020 Salute to America event in honor of Independence Day on the South Lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C., July 4, 2020, Saul Loeb/AFP, carrying on a theme he pounded on a day earlier against the backdrop of the Mount Rushmore monuments. He went after those who have torn down statues or think some of them, particularly those of Confederate figures, should be removed. Support has been growing among Republicans to remove Confederate memorials. Our past is not a burden to be cast away, Trump said. Some of the U.S. leader's sharpest words were for the media, which he accused of a campaign to smear opponents as racists. The more you lie, the more you slander, the more you try to demean and divide, the more we will work hard to tell the truth and we will win, Trump said, with 4 months to go until the election. He did not mention the dead from the pandemic. Nearly 130,000 are known to have died from COVID-19 in the U.S. Crowds watch flyovers from the National Mall during a Salute to America event on the South Lawn of the White House, Saturday, July 4, 2020, in Washington. AP/Alex Brandon. Instead, he accused China, where the outbreak originated, of a cover-up that allowed the illness to race across the globe, but hailed American scientific brilliance. We'll likely have a therapeutic and/or vaccine solution long before the end of the year, he said. President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump watch as the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds and U.S. Navy Blue Angels perform a flyover during a Salute to America event on the South Lawn of the White House, Saturday, July 4, 2020, in Washington. AP/Patrick Szymanski. Trump's guests were doctors, nurses, law enforcement officers and military members as well as officials from the administration, said Judd Deere, Deputy White House Press Secretary. He said the event was a tribute to the tremendous courage and spirit of frontline workers and the public in the pandemic. In many parts of the country, authorities discouraged mass gatherings for the holiday, after days that have seen COVID-19 cases grow at a rate not experienced even during the deadliest phase of the pandemic in the spring. But Trump enticed the masses with a special evening of tribute and fireworks staged from the National Mall. Fireworks displays are typically a high point of the holiday, but an estimated 80% of the events have been cancelled this year. The crowds wandering the National Mall for the night's air show and fireworks was strikingly thinner than the gathering for last year's jammed celebration on the mall. People wave U.S. national flags during the 2020 Salute to America event in honor of Independence Day on the South Lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C., July 4, 2020. Saul Loeb/AFP, many who showed up wore masks. Unlike those seated close together for Trump's South Lawn event, and distancing was easy to do for those scattered across the sprawling space. Trump's likely challenger in November, Democrat Joe Biden, struck a sharply different tone on Saturday, tweeting, "Our nation was founded on a simple idea: we're all created equal. We've never lived up to it, but we've never stopped trying." The Independence Day. Let's not just celebrate those words, let's commit to finally fulfill them. Let's block ads. Why?
Show your love for him. Click the link in description. Thanks for watching.